This kid can stretch like Luffy from One Piece. His body parts can get longer whenever he wants. His friends have other amazing powers too. Who are the parents of these superhumans with such incredible powers? In this world, Earth is protected by a team of superheroes called the Heroics. When a broken satellite is found in orbit, Miracle Guy and Techno fly up to check it out and find an army of alien ships waiting, which easily defeat them and send them hurtling back to Earth. This event is on the news, which for now calls it a practice drill. Missy Moreno, the former leader of the Heroics who now only works at the hero's office, watches this and gets more and more worried, which is noticed by his daughter, Missy Moreno, who has no powers at all. After promising her everything is fine and he won't be rejoining the team as promised, Marcus drops Missy at school, then goes to work at the hero's HQ, which can only be reached through a special car activated by a worker's ID card. The head of the Heroics program, Ms. Granada, wants to send a few heroes against the aliens, but when Marcus shows her how vast the alien army is, she agrees to send them all at once, including Marcus himself. Ms. Granada also sends some of her agents to pick up the superheroes' children to bring them to safety. On the car ride, Missy talks to Marcus through a special bracelet that works as a phone that her dad also has, but he only checks on her and doesn't tell her what's happening before hanging up. At HQ, Missy is locked up with the other kids of the Heroics, where she gets to meet them and learn about their powers. There's Wheels, whose brain is supercharged and needs a wheelchair because his legs are too powerful for his body. Noodles, who can stretch any part of his body. Ojo, a genius artist who never speaks. A cappella, whose voice can shift pitch and move things. Slow Mo, who can move super fast but is stuck in a time loop, so he appears to move slowly. Facemaker, who can change his face and even copy others. Rewind and Fast Forward, twins who can slightly mess with time. Wild Card, who calls himself the leader and has every power, but can't control which one he uses. And Guppy, who has shark strength and can control water, but needs to stay wet. After messing around for a while, the kids watch their parents fight the aliens on TV, but one by one, the heroes are defeated and captured. The president cuts the feed to talk to the country, saying they're sending their army to rescue the heroes, but the chances are slim. He also reads a message from the aliens saying they're going to take over Earth, and humanity should obey or be destroyed. Ms. Granada appears on the screen next, telling the children the building is going into lockdown, and they should stay put. However, Missy thinks they should leave because they're about to be attacked. She knows this, because Ojo's drawings predict the future, proven by the fact she drew what the kids have done in the room already, and now she has a drawing of an alien breaking in. The other children agree to follow Missy's plan, even though Wild Card doesn't like her being in charge. Facemaker tricks the guards into entering the vault by pretending the kids are misbehaving. Then Guppy beats them up with her shark strength before Noodles steals their ID cards. One guard hits the alarm button, locking them in as the aliens arrive, but Rewind turns back time, so when the guard tries again, Wheels hits him with his chair, and Noodles TIs them all up after stealing a jacket, which he wears as he stretches to look like an adult. The kids leave the room with Noodles in front, pretending to be a guide, but Missy bumps into Ms. Granada and ruins their cover. The kids run as the alarm blares, and almost reach the door, but it seals shut in their faces. However, there's still one way out, the ceiling hatch. A cappella makes a stair by floating the guards and Noodles stretches his arm to open the hatch, letting the kids climb up and escape to another floor, where they take the access vehicle, thanks to the stolen cards. Guards are waiting outside, so a cappella again uses her powers to float the vehicle away. The problem is she can't steer, and they're about to hit a building, so Noodles stretches his arm out and grabs a pole to swing them around a few times before letting go, sending the vehicle in a new direction. The flight goes well for a bit, until a cappella starts getting tired, so Missy tells her an address to stop at. Stopping means a cappella lets the vehicle drop, crashing into a garden and its gazebo. The owner is Missy Moreno, Marcus' mother and the Heroics trainer. They only have 2 hours left before the aliens take over, but Anita takes them in and promises to train them to rescue their parents. While Ms. Granada and her team track the kids through Missy's communicator bracelet, Anita puts them through training after making Missy the leader. There's an obstacle course, hand-to-hand combat, and tightrope walking, but Anita's most important lesson is how to work together. The twins learn to be in sync with each other, and Guppy meditates to control her shark rage. Teamwork is something their parents forgot, as they're currently locked in a room and arguing instead of trying to work together. Missy isn't feeling very confident as a leader after giving the wrong orders, so Anita comforts her by saying that after training many superheroes, the most important one was Missy's dead mother. She didn't have powers, but thanks to her, Marcus became a good leader who led by example. At that moment, Ms. Granada's men arrive at the house. Anita opens a secret tunnel for the kids to escape while she's captured, and Missy guides them using the flashlight on Ojo's tablet. They need a plan, starting by doing things differently from their parents. No flashy costumes, lure the aliens out of the city, and keep a low profile. Missy whispers a plan to Wildcard while showing him something on the tablet that shocks him. He explains the plan to the others while claiming they came up with it together, and the kids get ready. Ojo's drawings predict an alien supply ship landing nearby, so the children find it and get inside. Slow-Mo is too slow and almost gets captured, but Noodles stretches his arms and pulls him in before Wheels and Guppy press buttons until the ship takes off. It connects to the mothership, and the kids enter after Noodles peeks out to check it safe. The place is huge and finding their parents could take forever, so Wheels has an idea. Since Granada found them thanks to Missy's bracelet, he should be able to modify it to find Marcus too, and therefore all their parents. The group starts following the signal through the mothership's hallways when suddenly, alien tentacles start bursting through the floor and chasing them. They run away, and after Capella uses her voice to briefly stop the tentacles so they can reach the door. The children make it to a room with a giant pyramid in it, and see the president making a deal with aliens to drop that pyramid on Earth in an hour. The kids decide they need to stop it, and turn to leave, only to be found by Ms. Granada, who at first pretends to be mad, but then congratulates them for acting so heroically. The good moment is short-lived. Wheels' readings and Ojo's drawing reveal a shocking truth. Ms. Granada, the president, and his men are aliens, revealing tentacles on their backs. The kids are put in a special unbreakable room, and Ms. Granada locks it with a special key after taking Guppy's water bottle. Their parents are in a similar situation. No matter how hard they hit the walls with their powers, they can't escape. Suddenly, the door opens and an alien enters the room. The superheroes try to attack, but it easily pushes them aside as if they were normal humans. The alien removes its skin, which turns out to be just a towel, revealing Anita, who scolds them for dropping training for a year and forgetting their lessons. Meanwhile, Missy comes up with a plan and starts talking about how they can't escape and have no future. The other kids think it's depressing, but soon they catch on and start saying sad things too, allowing Guppy to collect enough tears to make a key that opens the door. They only have 18 minutes until the alien takeover. Missy thinks they should stop the pyramid, while Wildcard thinks they should rescue their parents and let them handle it. He is angry that Missy took over as leader and failed, so they split the group. Wildcard takes Facemaker to find their parents, while the rest go to stop the pyramid. Ms. Granada watches this on the security cameras and noticing Wildcard and Facemaker argue and split, decides it's the perfect chance to capture Wildcard, whose lack of control and temper make him an easy target. They catch him moments later, while he's trying and failing to use his powers. They take him to another room for questioning, but Wildcard answers all their questions with jokes. Meanwhile, the kids arrive at the pyramid room, but before they can enter, they're surrounded by guards. The kids start fighting the guards hand to hand, except for Guppy, who tries to stay calm. Missy gives her permission to use her shark rage, and Guppy goes wild, taking down a good number of guards. Wheels also beats up a few by sending his wheelchair after them while holding himself up on Noodle's arm, but it's not enough. The guards just stand up again, unleash their tentacles, and grab some chains hidden on the ceiling to tie the kids up. Rewind and fast forward work together to turn back time, and Noodles grabs the chains before the guards do, tying them up instead. When one of the guards takes out keys to open the chains, they turn back time again and steal them before the guards can use them. The group enters the room, but when they're about to reach the pyramid, a force field appears around it. As they wonder who did this, Ojo finally speaks and reveals she's been an alien all along. She's been watching them and is disappointed by their lack of teamwork, but Missy proves her wrong by talking to Wildcard, who hears her from the control room. It turns out Missy knew Ojo was an alien from a prophetic drawing, so she came up with a plan. Her fight with Wildcard was an act to be able to split and reach the control room safely. The kid Ms. Granada has now is actually Facemaker pretending to be Wildcard, who presses buttons to deactivate the pyramid shield. Ms. Granada and her men go after Wildcard, who has accepted Missy as leader, and thanks to her believing in him, he can now control his powers. He FLIs, shapeshifts, uses electricity and a freeze ray at will, and defeats Granada and the men in seconds. Facemaker, now alone, runs away and joins the rest of the team, just as Ojo starts drawing monsters that come to life. The team combines their powers to beat them, and Guppy even uses liquid metal from the pyramid as water when she runs out. For the last two monsters, Missy decides to lead by example. She asks Noodles to stretch his arm so she can walk on it like a tightrope and lure the monsters in, falling into the abyss with them when Noodles pulls his arm back. Luckily, he stretches it again and grabs Missy, bringing her back up before anything bad happens. Wheels turns the tablet from his chair into a motherboard to swap it with the one inside the pyramid, but Ojo uses a tentacle to knock it out of their hands. The tablet falls into the abyss, which is too deep for anyone to survive, except for Slow-Mo. He jumps in and gets it, and then Wildcard teleports into the room to fly him back out. Noodles takes the tablet from Slow-Mo and stretches his arm to the top of the pyramid to swap the motherboards just as the clock hits 0 and the pyramid opens. Their parents come out. The kids are confused by this, and Ojo explains what's going on along with the president and Ms. Granada, who just arrived. The takeover wasn't an alien invasion. It means taking over their parents' powers. Each new generation improves upon the last, and with all of Earth's problems, the kids need to fix things sooner rather than later. The aliens infiltrated the government and the heroics headquarters to train the kids and speed up the transfer of power, because on their planet, children are the leaders. The kids accept to become Earth's new superhero team, with Missy as their leader. Now that they have an agreement, they can reunite with their parents, who are all very proud of them for their heroism today.